to the next level.
Waste a lot of energy. You've been finding that out yourself when you turned into a Super Saiyan. It's not easy, right? Right?
This is the ugly truth of why Goku and Vegeta, but mainly Goku, has pretty much passed every single character in Dragon Ball. It's not from the lack of desire to become stronger. I'm sure that every single Dragon Ball character would love to be stronger, but it's their lack of consistency that stops them from growing. This doesn't just mean sticking to a training regimen, but being so flexible to a goal that it is impossible to plateau in power. This is the ability to consistently change your approach, the ability to consistently grow. YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Nova World One, and in today's video we are going to talk about Goku's unique ability to consistently grow. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, consistency isn't just about being able to keep doing something over and over again. I learned this like 2 years ago. I'm 23 right now, but I've learned this 2 years ago in my journey to trying to get back in shape and lose the weight and this, that, and third. I might put a picture up or something, but I was fit, I got fat, and now I'm trying to get back fit again. So basically, let's just go ahead and get into it, and let's talk about this in reference to Goku and the Z Fighters. In Goku's early life, he was alone in the forest, training by himself, no real technique, no nothing. But when he encountered Krillin and Roshi, he was more than happy to adapt to their training style and, you know, take on their moves and abilities and all that type of thing. Now Goku trains with others. Krillin had the exact same drive to train and get better and consistently grow just like Goku up until the Saiyan saga, and I do believe that's where things start to change, when the threats start to get more and more insane. Now, Goku died at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. Goku died at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, but he didn't use that as an excuse or anything else like that. He went straight to the Kai and said, hey, train me, I have to get stronger because I'm going to get revived. Partly this was out of necessity, because if Goku, for one, Goku was the strongest of the bunch at the time, and if Goku did not get stronger, the Saiyans were going to completely demolish him and probably destroy the earth. And we saw what Raditz did to Piccolo and Goku, and they tried to jump him. So Goku comes back with all these new moves, and this just shows Goku's willingness to train and learn new things and consistently grow. If Goku wasn't smart, he would have, I don't know, waited for himself to get wished back, came back, and then not be ready for the Saiyans. Granted, he got as ready as much as he could, but he still wasn't prepared for what could have happened. In this fight with Nappa and Vegeta, Goku was very relevant, but in my opinion, I think Krillin was also very relevant. If he hadn't been there, the fight probably would have went way different. Goku had the strength, Goku had the abilities and the new things that he learned, but had Krillin not been there, the fight probably would have gone very differently. Goku might have died again, and Vegeta might have got what he wanted. Now at this time, Krillin was pretty relevant, and I do believe that he was still being consistent in his approach, consistent in his ways of trying to get stronger and trying new things. Because I believe this was the first, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first debut of the Destructo Disc, a technique that's able to basically cut through more powerful enemies. Now, I'll say this, what a lot of people don't know about Dragon Ball is techniques aren't just cool, flashy things. A Kamehameha isn't the same thing as a punch. A Destructo Disc isn't the same thing as a punch. When you use an attack, it literally multiplies your power. So if you have a power level of 2000 and you have an attack that multiplies your power by, let's say, 10, then now you have a power of 20,000 when you use the attack on the opponent. That's just one of the same reasons why Piccolo initially had to charge his special beam cannon, because this was closer to the series where moves, they weren't used as rampantly. They couldn't just use blast attacks and all this type of stuff as much as they can now. Now they just throw them blast attacks out all willy-nilly. All right, let's talk about the desire piece. I believe that at this point, the Saiyan Saga was a pivotal point because it was going to decide, okay, yes, I did say in the intro that it wasn't from lack of desire. I lied. So basically, the Saiyan Saga, I believe, is where the desire part of the equation is where it started to go out the window, because from the Saiyan Saga on, it's like the Z Fighters were constantly at war up until after the Cell Saga, and they had a good long time of peace. Leading up to the Namek Saga, when Goku and friends had to wish back their friends after Goku healed up, because I do believe he was the last one to heal up. He was trying to train and he wasn't really seeing any progress, so he went to Bulma's and asked for help. He wanted to help the guys that's heading to Namek so that, you know, they wouldn't be there all by themselves. Goku, this is another case of when Goku was trying to be consistent. He was consistently changing his approach. Goku realized that after fighting Vegeta in space, it's a whole nother realm. There could be beings so powerful that his techniques and special abilities just wouldn't work. We saw that with him fighting Vegeta. Goku had to use Kaioken and even take it past the limit in order to even be able to hang with Vegeta, and he destroyed his body in the process trying to fight him. So from that, Goku learned that yes, techniques, they do help and they do amplify your power, but if an opponent is so strong, so incredibly stronger than you, your techniques mean nothing. So from this point, when Goku went to Bulma's, he went to go ask her for help. She gave him the spaceship with the gravity room, and this was going to be the thing that exploded his power. Now, even whilst getting in this gravity room, Goku didn't completely rely on the gravity room for, let's say, his ability to get stronger. He didn't just say, oh well, I'm just turn the gravity on and then just train and then that'll be that. When Goku used the gravity room, he used it intelligently. He tested its limits and he consistently progressively overloaded on what he was capable of in his gravity room. We even saw him use, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe I saw a scene of him even using Kaioken in the gravity room. I do believe that this was the precursor to him being able to use the Kaioken on Namek more frequently without as much damage to his body, and also him later on in Super being able to use Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan Blue. And also, I'm not sure if this is canon or not, or if this is like anime or movie only, but him using Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan. Goku almost died using the gravity room at one point. He learned his lesson. He learned that he needed to take it a bit slower. But when he got off of that ship, his power had exploded. Goku was incredibly strong. And due to Goku's Saiyan biology, all his skills he's accumulated through training with King Kai, and the raw brutal strength he gained from training in the gravity room, Goku was able to defeat Frieza. Now let's talk about the Cell Saga. In the Cell Saga, everyone is back to life. Everybody. But now, well, Cell/Android Saga. But now, Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, Trunks, they all partner up at some point. They partner up, and then they also utilize a very useful tool, the hyperbolic time chamber. This is what I mean by they're inconsistent. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not remembering it right. I was a kid watching this stuff, but we barely see the Earthlings train together at this point in the series. And when they do train, it's not serious. It's kind of played for comedic effect. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, man, Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, if y'all don't get y'all ass in that hyperbolic time chamber and train, bro, like, come on, man. Like, y'all playing, y'all messing around. This is life or death. We're not even in peace times yet. Why aren't y'all in the hyperbolic time chamber? Y'all aren't innovating. And it's been so long at this point. Why haven't you asked Goku how to use a Kaioken? How to use an instant transmission? I guarantee y'all, if Krillin, Yamcha, or Tien learn how to use those abilities, them getting beat up and destroyed by the Cell Juniors will be a totally different story. I think that they really could have jumped Cell, if you ask me. That's just me. And the Earthlings, I really do think they could have been brought up to at least Super Saiyan level had they started training in the Gravity Room. Granted, we seen Yamcha train in the Gravity Room one time, but he couldn't hang with it. He was too weak. But we also are forgetting, we look at these Earthlings, right? We look at them and we say, oh man, they're the weakest of the cast. Okay, fine. But the fact that Yamcha could even consider going into the gravity chamber, that convinced me that, hey, he took it a bit slower, learned a few more techniques like the Kaioken from Goku, consistently, not just consistently train, but consistently learn new things, consistently change his approach. They would have been Super Saiyan level, at least by the, like, they would have been on the same level as the Saiyans. I wholeheartedly believe that. They just weren't consistent enough. You mean to tell me instant transmission and Kaioken in the hands of Krillin wouldn't be dangerous? Come on, bro. That would be crazy. And Destructo Disc out of nowhere. Amped up Destructo Disc. Cut Cell in half. Cut Cell Juniors into little tiny chunks and pieces. But the part that really gets me and kind of aggravates me about the Earthlings is at this point we weren't even in peace times. So y'all didn't have an excuse. It's life or death. Why aren't you training harder? Why aren't you trying to do more? And I think I've seen one scene where Tien was training by himself, and I just think that's so ridiculous. If you have Super Saiyans who are way stronger than you, why wouldn't you want every advantage in the world? If this so-called Cell creature is stronger than a Super Saiyan, why aren't you taking every advantage that you possibly could? Why aren't you asking Goku for all his techniques? Goku proved back in the Saiyan saga that even a low-class warrior Saiyan can win a fight through hard work, training, and basically being consistent with your skill acquisition and learning different skills. And granted, yes, he has his Saiyan biology, but this is Saiyan on Saiyan. Now, if this was Earthling on Saiyan, it'd be a different story. But let's be honest. These main villains do not train at all. All they do is acquire power and be strong. So if you were an Earthling and you actually trained and attempted to like get new skills and get better, you could basically do the same thing that Goku did in the Saiyan saga and show them that an Earthling, if they trained hard enough, was consistent with their skill acquisition, that they can still like stand up to main villains. I mean, Goku steals their moves all the time and calls it his own. Why aren't y'all stealing his stuff? Why aren't y'all stealing stuff from like villains and stuff? Come on now. No excuse. Now let's talk about the Buu saga. In the Buu saga, Goku was dead and he was still training. He was still being consistent. Goku was being so consistent that he unlocked a whole new form. Remember, it's not just about doing the same thing every day. It's about being consistent with your approach and even being consistent with changing your approach. Goku unlocked a whole new form. Vegeta was consistent, but he wasn't really innovating. He was kind of just chasing Gohan's Cell Saga strength. Gohan lost his drive. And the Earthlings were dependent on Gohan to be able to defend Earth. Tien plateaued. Tien should have took his opportunity to train with the Earthlings and back in the Cell Saga. He should have took his opportunity to learn all these different moves. He should have took the opportunity to get back with King Kage. As a matter of fact, he should have already learned the Kaioken, him and Yamcha, because they was both training with King Kai back in the day when they were dead. Krillin had a family, so I'll kind of give him a pass. But Yamcha and Tien, no excuse, disgraceful. Yamcha, he just got lazy, and he wanted to be a baseball player. Same thing I said before. Basically, the Earthlings depended on Gohan, which was a bad idea because Gohan lost his drive. Gohan got cocky and he didn't realize that if you aren't progressing, you're regressing. And here's a bonus. I just added this part in. Hercule. Now, Hercule wasn't a part of the cast until the Buu saga. But I do believe Hercule has potential. I think I saw one scene where he literally dodged a gunshot and he speed blitzed regular humans. Hercule is pretty strong. He has potential. I once saw him dodge a bullet. He speed blitzes regular humans. I think if he actually like trained with the other Earthlings and they all got together, they could be pretty strong. Goku beats Majin Buu with the Spirit Bomb, not of his own power, but he's humble enough to just be okay with that. You know what I mean? And then we can go back to that consistency. It's the fact that Goku has so much stuff in his bag to pull from in order to beat a villain. He doesn't have to beat a villain in a conventional way. Goku is so consistent that he beat Broly. Did you guys know that Broly cannot be beaten under conventional means? Broly's power literally continues to grow forever. Broly only gets stronger. The only reason Broly lost was because he lost focus in the fight. And I know that sounds stupid, but in Dragon Ball Z, focus, rage boost, courage, bravery, things like that, being psyched out for the fight, those things matter. It's the same reason why Goku got downed by a damn ray gun as a Super Saiyan Blue. So when Broly had that little PTSD moment when he got caught off guard, Goku said, "Oh, this is my chance to beat him." And Goku knew that. Because Goku is consistently growing and changing. This is why Goku has so much stuff in his bag to beat villains, to beat impossible villains like Broly. Anyways, that was a little tangent side note or whatever. Fast forward to Diamond. Vegeta starts to become similar to Goku in regards to his ability to consistently grow. This allows Vegeta to be pretty much relative to Goku throughout Dragon Ball Super. And I believe the first step of Vegeta's growing consistency is him making the executive decision to go train with Whis. And then from there, he began to develop his own techniques and learn new things instead of just doing hardcore Saiyan punishment training. Same with Gohan and Piccolo. Gohan realized that, hey man, it's stupid for me to rely on Goku and Vegeta. What's going to happen when they're gone? So he started training. He started getting back right. Now Piccolo, I'm kind of mad at Piccolo because I feel like he could have made that wish to become stronger at any time. Granted, it's not the very warrior thing to do, but necessity made him do that. But yeah, I feel like Piccolo could have been strong the whole time. I feel like Piccolo, he just wasn't training right. I don't know. Like, let me know what y'all think in the comments, but I feel like Piccolo should have stayed on the level of the Saiyans the whole time, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm disappointed in you, Piccolo. Come on now. Matter of fact, Piccolo could have spent 3 years in the hyperbolic time chamber because Piccolo is the youngest of the cast. That's what he should have did. Anyways, Krillin and the other Earthlings, they jumped in power considerably for the Tournament of Power. Now imagine if they had been training this whole time, had they been consistent, if they was training this whole time, if they developed new moves, if they, like I said, they took the Kaioken instant transmission. Goku learned to put the Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan because he was consistent. If Krillin and them learned to use that, bro, they would be so much more strong, bro. So much more strong. But yeah, that's my little yap session about consistency in Dragon Ball Z and why Goku and Vegeta, but mainly Goku, will always be stronger than the rest of the cast. It's just because nobody can stay consistent. And that's not a knock to them. I mean, it's just like real life. In real life, you fall off sometimes. But I've learned so far that being consistent isn't about doing the same thing every day. It's about being flexible to your goals. It's about being willing to try new things in order to get to your goals. That's what Goku is all and that's what Goku is all about. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this type of video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.